Good morning, people. Happy Saturday. It's a match preview. It's the big one. Arsenal versus Manchester United. One of my favourite games in the calendar. One of the first ones I look for whenever they release the fixtures. And it's tomorrow. The late game. The late kickoff. What's going to happen? Going to get into my match preview. Going to talk about what I think the starting 11 is going to be. Predicted scoreline. All that lovely stuff. But before I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. On the road to 500 subs. Help me grow the community. And let's get right into it because Rivalry resumes tomorrow. Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. These two teams have been going at it for years. Since the Premier League first became the Premier League, this was the classic battle. Manchester United and Arsenal, Arsenal and United. Fergie, Wenger, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, so many stories over the years, so many great goals, winning the league at Old Trafford, Henry getting a header last minute. I mean, some of the most incredible times as an Arsenal fan were games against Manchester United. And after United stuffed Manchester City in the last game, this game just got a little bit more interesting, didn't it? United, I think nobody really saw that result coming against Manchester City, but considering what happened with City and Bodo Glimt, maybe with hindsight, not that surprising in the end. And of course, Arsenal, we drew our last game in the league 0-0, but put in a monster performance against Inter Milan away at the San Siro. So sets things up nicely for tomorrow. I think United fans, after they saw the draw and their win, they were feeling really good about themselves. They were feeling really good about this fixture. Then the Champions League happened, and I think reality set in a little bit for Manchester United because this is not going to be no walk in the park. You are coming to the Emirates Stadium. We don't lose at the Emirates. We barely draw at the Emirates. We have built it into a fortress. The atmosphere is incredible. We usually get our wins there. So United, you know, you're not coming to play no little team, yeah? You're not coming to play a naive team. You're coming to play a team that is going for the title. And this is going to be just another 3 points on the road to that. So what do I think the starting 11 is going to be? We're going to have to go as strong as possible, right? There's a couple of interesting places where I'm not exactly sure what Arteta's going to do. Depends on who's fit in the end. But more or less, I think this is the squad he's going to go for. Of course, we're going to have David Raya at the back, goalkeeper, phenomenal. He's got the most clean sheets this season. He's a great shot stopper. He distributes the ball well. He commands his box well, comes for crosses well. I mean, what more can I say about David Raya? Phenomenal goalkeeper. Lovely to have him with us. And then moving into defence, this is where I'm not sure what might happen at left back, but I think Timber's going to be right back. Saliba obviously going to continue. He had a phenomenal game against Inter Milan. Really led the back line well because Gabriel didn't start in that game. So guess what? Gabriel is going to start in this one. He's ready. Had a bit of a rest. So our defence is going to be ready to deal with whatever United throw at us. And at left back, Miles Lewis-Skelly has had a shaky season, but he played really well against Inter Milan. He looked, like he's getting back to his best. And this is where, the squad is coming back to full fitness. Nkapie and Calafiori are not far from, starting, but they haven't had enough minutes. That's the thing. So I guess Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to continue in that position, but Arteta might want to switch it up. And if Calafiori's ready to start, I wouldn't be surprised to see him coming in. But because of game time, because he's picked up a little bit of form, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly is who we're going to start with at left back. And I expect him to have a good game against Manchester United. He usually turns up for the big games, to be fair to Miles Lewis-Skelly. So long as he's switched on, I think he will be fine at left back, to be honest. Moving into midfield, the engine room, where we can try to dominate the game. This is where we need to win things against Manchester United because obviously they've got Bruno Fernandes. He's a really good player. So we're going to have to be able to make sure we can control that part of the pitch, which means, hey, it's back to our first choice midfield. Rice didn't start, Ødegaard didn't start against Inter Milan, and we still got that fantastic victory. So they're both going to be ready and raring to go in this game. Expect both of them to start. Rice and Zubimendi, that partnership back together. Obviously, Rice, I don't need to tell you about Rice. Phenomenal player. The way he, drives the team forward, leads by example. Just, a dream player to have in your squad. And alongside Zubimendi, that partnership has, developed during the season, gone from strength to strength, and Zubimendi is a quality player, reads the game so well, sniffs out danger. So that partnership back together. And then, yeah, Ødegaard is going to come in for Eze, our captain. He's actually had a pretty good season, considering, the last couple, he wasn't really at the heights that he could reach, but he started to come back to his best. I think the fact that there's now competition there between him and Eze is going to be only a good thing, is going to drive both of them forward. Ødegaard knows he's going to come in, have a good game against Manchester United, or he's going to get hauled off. No problem, Eze will come on. But I expect Ødegaard to do his thing against Manchester United. Big game player. And then up front, this is, what are we going to do? Because Jesus, he bagged a brace against Inter Milan. He's looking back to his best, his fluid best, because he's a very different type of centre-forward to Gyökeres. Gyökeres is just, a battering ram, whereas Jesus, he's a little bit more clever with it. But I fancy Arteta to go for Gyökeres here, so that he can pin the defenders back. They've got some strong defenders in Harry Maguire and whoever's going to play alongside him. I guess maybe Lenny Yoro or Heaven. He's looked good, actually, for them this season. So we want Gyökeres to be up there, pinning the defenders back so that he can create a little bit of space for our wingers to work their magic. Trossard, Saka. I would say these are the two that are going to start. I wouldn't be surprised to see Martinelli play in that game. That pass he made for the Gyökeres goal against Inter Milan. Trivela pass. Nice by Martinelli. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him there. And that's where we are now. We've got options. We can be unpredictable if we want. So the positions where I think we may see a bit of changes, maybe centre forward, left wing and left back. Those are the ones where I think, yeah, Arteta might do something different. Apart from that, I think the squad is going to be exactly what I put out there. What do you think? Do you agree with that squad? Would you start Jesus ahead of Gyökeres? Would you give Martinelli the nod ahead of Trossard? And left back, would Calafiori or Nkapie be ready to start in this game, considering they've both been out for a while? Let me know what you think in the comments. But for me, this is the starting 11 I'm going for. And it's going to be a game where we need to come out from the start, all guns blazing. I have a feeling United are going to want to do similar and to try and put us under pressure, to try and play on the front foot. They did really well against Manchester City by playing that tactic, They're going to probably play with a back four, so let's see if that's how they're going to attack the game. But we are at home, so we've got to go on the front foot before they can, put them under pressure, pin them back so that we can get at them, because they can be got at. We are a better team than Manchester United. We've been together longer. Karaki's only managed one game. What is he taking? A few training sessions. So we have a better understanding of what we want to do as a team, how we want to play, how we want to move the ball, how we want to dominate spaces. So I expect that to be something that makes the difference. Arteta is a really experienced manager now. He's been thinking about this game ever since the final whistle went against Inter Milan. And we've actually had a fair bit of time since that game, because we played on Tuesday. This game is the last one on Sunday. So even though United didn't have a midweek fixture, okay, fine. There's not that big a difference between the rest time for the both of us. So hopefully that doesn't, work into being an advantage for Manchester United. And hopefully we make it not even matter, because we can win the game, in the first half. That's the thing. So in terms of my prediction for the game, what do I think the scoreline is going to be? Well, the handbrake was off a little bit against Inter Milan. I saw us moving well. I saw us moving the ball well, dominating play, quick passes, brave passes, trusting each other. So I want us to come out and play like that again. I want us to put it on United and be dominant from the first whistle to the last, just like we were against Inter Milan. I think we're going to get a few goals in this game, because United, I think they're going to try and attack. So we're going to find the spaces, hopefully. So what do I think for the predicted scoreline? I think we're going to get a few goals. I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar scoreline to what happened against Inter Milan, I would love to keep a clean sheet against United. I have a feeling they might score. So I'm going to say we get a 3-1 against Manchester United. I think we get a couple of goals first. United maybe get one back, and then we get a third, killing them off when they're trying to look for an equaliser. So that's my predicted 11 for the game and my predicted scoreline. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments? Do you agree with my prediction? You think it's going to be more? Do you agree with my starting lineup? Who do you think should come in, should come out? But make no mistake, this is a big game. I can't wait for it. United are trying to get back to the United of old. You know, I think Carrick coming in was a good move for them. I think Amorim leaving also was a good move for them because it was just not working. I don't know how much longer they were gonna go on with that relationship. It's like being in, you know, a toxic relationship and neither of you wants to end it. Finally, it was ended and they've moved on from Amorim. They got a bit of a manager bounce, a new manager bounce against Manchester City. Hopefully that comes to an end tomorrow at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal need to make yet another statement in this Premier League title race. If we can beat United with this, you know, little form that they've just picked up of late, if we can beat them and beat them well, send another statement out to the rest of the league, yo, this could be one of those games that really pushes us on towards the title. And, you know, United have climbed the table of late. They're battling Liverpool, Chelsea for a place in the Champions League for next season, for a place in the top 4. At the moment, United are sitting just outside of that, 1 point behind Liverpool in 5th place. Obviously, we're top of the league. So United are going to be wanting these points too, you know? They haven't been in the Champions League for a little while. They're going to want to make sure they can finish in those spaces if they can. So a lot to play for in this game. Us battling for the title, United trying to get into the Champions League. It's going to be a spicy, spicy game. It's like, I don't know, for me, it's like the Classico of England, of the Premier League, because them historic battles between United and Arsenal are legendary stuff. I grew up in that era, so for me, United is the old enemy. They're the one I really love beating, so hopefully we can do that tomorrow. Can't wait for it. A few games kicking off today, obviously. Premier League is back after a midweek break for the Champions League. Cannot wait. Hopefully we can end this weekend even more top of the tree. Hopefully, you know, something happens with the other title challengers. Manchester City have got a game against Wolves. Manchester City haven't been in good form. Wolves obviously fighting for their lives. Let's see what happens. We are the last game on the Sunday. So sit back, enjoy the football. Until then, and then it's going to be a blockbuster Sunday, people. I can't wait for it. Don't forget to let me know what your prediction is. Drop it a note in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. Big one tomorrow. Come on, people. Have a great day. See you next time. Peace. Bye.